Hello, my sweethearts. Now, here are 4 stunningly important tips that'll help you decipher why your Aquarius man has gone silent or isn't responding to your text or your voicemails and how you should react. Well, we know Aquarius man is the great romantic and the greatest conundrum all in one because he's not always that romantic. So, yes, his idealistic nature makes him romantic, but the Uranus influence makes him unpredictable in love. So periods of silence are part and parcel of the romantic game. Although I'm not saying he means to play a game, but he kind of does. So unlike other astrologers, I'm not going to say that his silent treatment is inevitable because of his rebellious nature and his tendency for running hot and cold. No, Aquarius is a fixed sign. It's co-ruled by Saturn, and his solar 7th house is ruled by the sun, meaning that once he's really plugged into the relationship, it's vitally important to him, and he's unlikely to ignore you for a long period. It's much more likely that he'll ignore or avoid conversation during the really early stages of the relationship. So it's all about the phase that you're in. So what's likely behind his silent treatment, right? Well, number 1, he could be in a distraction cycle. Now, Aquarius man is known for having a wide variety of interests, and he's also a person who's a seeker, an intellectual, and a social experimenter. So there are numerous ways in which he spends his time, and often he rushes off at tangents. At times, he becomes overwhelmed with like a social whirlpool. He just can't cope and actually becomes a little bit dizzy, losing track of priorities. So with this kind of absent-minded credentials of Aquarius man, there's always a chance that he simply lost his phone, lost his bearings, lost track of time, and is simply not answering because he's snowed under with social and other obligations. So there's no need for you to be concerned. This is frequently why he goes quiet. And in this case, there's not an awful lot you have to worry about or that you'll have to do. Just give him a day or two and he'll be back in touch. So basically, don't panic. It is, however, there's a but, worth reminding him once he's back in touch that you were a little concerned, but don't overstate your case because this can make him feel like he's being controlled or hounded, and you don't want to be old hound dog. Number 2, he's got social burnout, stress, and work worries. Yes, Aquarius often burn out. So Aquarius man is very susceptible to stress and, like I say, burnout, and often his work life really gets him down. So although he is a very social creature, he often finds people very challenging. Often colleagues, his boss, his employees, and even people in his personal life, from neighbors to family members, etc., can drive him absolutely nuts. And in this case, he likes to just go to ground, shut himself away in a room, take to a mountain somewhere, hike, just kind of get away from it all. Sometimes he just feels like at his limit, and he needs to switch off, cut off all contact from the world. And in this case, it's really important not to kind of harass him. He's closed for business, even love business. He doesn't want to speak to anyone. He just wants to get himself together and recoup his energy. So the last thing he kind of needs right now is for you to become very emotional and just put these extra demands on him when he's trying to avoid those, because he might crack. Number 3 is an interesting one, vacuuming, right? And I'm not talking about a Dyson or a Hoover. Now, I have to be honest with you. You do get Aquarius men who are manipulative, control freaks, and sometimes this can even lead to slightly narcissistic behavior. So when he's ignoring you, this could be passive-aggressive, and it could also be a process of what is called vacuuming, right? He almost wants to inspire a hysterical, dramatic reaction from you so that he can test how strongly you feel for him. But this is a bit of a problem. So sometimes what he's looking for is a reaction to see your strength of feeling. And it can be a way of testing if you're really engaged and sort of really into him and into the relationship. And the only reason he'll be doing this is because he's very insecure. So what you want to do is show that you care for him and appreciate him, but do stay calm. If you freak out, act dramatic, and get upset when he hasn't contacted you, he may just do this more often because he knows he's getting a rise out of you. So the key is show some concern, but don't nag, don't get dramatic. Kind of what we've said before in dealing with the silent treatment. Number 4, he's hurt. Aquarius men are sensitive, and they do have these feelings that become hurt, especially if you've made him feel like he's not a good person. So if you've criticized his character or you've had a big clash in terms of moral values, this can sometimes be not like a relationship deal breaker, yeah, but it can make him wanting to retreat, take time but to recover, reassess. So Aquarius man is pretty open-minded. He always comes back strong, but in the short term, he's capable of being sensitive and having his feelings hurt. And if he's invested in you and is fond of you or loves you, it's easier for him to be hurt by even simple rebuffs and criticisms. And aggression, well, this will make him retreat. In fact, any aggression is something that is very off-putting to Aquarius man, and you definitely want to avoid that. So let's summarize. What do? Bottom line, you don't jump to conclusions, right? Leaving him be is the best thing you could do initially. Don't let your mind run riot, and don't start like stalking or trying to ask friends what he's up to and that kind of thing. Now, even though Aquarius man is known to be reasonable and intelligent, in love, he's bashful and often stumbles in intimate situations, meaning he often needs a mini space break every so often to make sense of his feelings, because he doesn't always know what to do when he gets these intense emotions. They're quite uncomfortable for him. So he often tries to avoid problems rather than speak up and be assertive. So he kind of shuts down and hides from you. And he does this to all the people he cares about. But eventually, he comes round. He clicks back into his other mode. So, darlings, your tactics are as follows. You give him space. Don't make a drama out of the silent treatment. Acknowledge his needs. Be reassuring. Stay strong in yourself. Don't let his silence discombobulate you. That is a number one tip. Don't chase him. And never demand answers or give ultimatums. Totally counterproductive. So, dealing with the Aquarius man, it's definitely not straightforward, but it's an exciting prospect. If you get his sensitive yet erratic nature and occasional crisis of confidence, then you'll have success. And so that's why I hope this really helped to empower you and to just steer you away of some of the reflex actions we all go into during this time that are actually going to drive him further away or prolong the silent treatment or even be a deal breaker. Okay, if you have any other comments you'd like me to cover, please stay in touch. I'd love you to give a like and subscribe, perhaps share with some friends and all, and take care.